All right, friends, welcome back, and thank you for the love on the previous episode. Today, I want to talk about a show I just finished watching that I haven't really been able to shake off, okay? And that's the Montreal Canadian version of Pop the Balloon. I'm positive you all have heard or at least seen a couple of videos of that show. And in the Montreal one, I felt highly uncomfortable. And so here I am on my mic because we need to talk about things like that. I was not uncomfortable because it was vulgar or explicit or whatever else typically makes me uncomfortable, but because there was such emotional weight. It carried such emotional weight. And I felt like a kid watching her parents fight. Why are you tearing each other apart? And so I wanted to kind of share my thoughts on it because I kind of see how we got here, but I also see how we can get out of here. So you know what? Hear me out. It's just a thought. Okay, so if you are new here, first of all, thank you for stopping by. My name is Gigi. I like to talk about faith and culture and critical thinking and everything in between. And every now and then I pick up whatever is trending on the internet and give my thoughts on it in the hope that we can open up a conversation about wisdom. And so, you know what? Subscribe. Why not just stick together? Why not see where this thing goes? Why not commit to each other for a minute? Because we can deliver. Both of us together can deliver. So hit the subscribe button and, of course, the notification bell to stay up to date. Now, so like I said, I did watch the Pop the Balloon Montreal edition show yesterday. It was the reunion episode. I have not been following the Montreal show, and every now and then I do watch some videos that pop up on the internet about the US ones, the French ones as well in Montreal, because I do live in Canada, and so I'm also interested to see. I've always mentioned that when the US sneezes, the world catches a cold. So whatever's happening in the US, typically we have kind of the same version here. And so for those of you who don't know, it's basically this rapid fire dating setup where you have men and women, and sometimes they have some same sex, I think, episodes, if I'm not mistaken, where people kind of have to either pop a balloon if they're uninterested in pursuing the conversation or being matched with a person, or stay and keep talking to that person.
How old are you?
I'm 29.
All right. So we did get some pop balloons. Let's go on over there and see why they ended up popping.
But that's the initial concept. But what really happens typically is that they roast each other mercilessly. And I've seen this time and time again. I have thought in the past of making episodes about this show and the content of it and people's reactions. I have restrained myself because it really didn't, pardon me, have anything to do with what I typically talk about. But at this point, after watching the Montreal edition, it hit home and I just had to talk about it. So there were moments in the Montreal episode, and I'm about to actually, let me put up the little teaser that they had pulled up. It is in French. You don't necessarily need to understand what they are saying, but just watch the energy, because this energy is typically matched in any Pop the Balloon, in any language, in any country. So watch.
Mais c'est pas à toi qu'on a posé la question, pourquoi tu parles?
Est-ce que toi tu suis les instructions de bon Dieu?
Mais bien sûr, parce que vous êtes des connards.
C'est votre job ça, c'est pas mon travail. Tu es en train de l'expliquer, écoute donc.
Tu veux que je joue le voice note?
Pourquoi est-ce que tu es agressif sur ce sujet-là?
Moi je parle pas de toi, je m'en fous de toi enfin.
Toi tu cherches des problèmes.
Okay, so that was just a little snippet of what was to come, but there were many moments in the Montreal episode, and I'm assuming everywhere else, where it goes quickly from like playful banter between men and women to actual venom. I don't know what happens, and it happens fast. It's insults, it's mockery, it's eye rolling, And I think the saddest part, in my opinion, is that people love it. People seem to really love it. The comments are always hyping it up. They're picking sides, and people are saying things like, oh, yes, she humbled him, or he humbled her. He served her. Oh, this is why I can't date men anymore. I can't date women anymore. This is why people are undateable. And so people kind of pick it up and pass it around, and it goes viral. And what I am picking up is that they love it. We love it. We share it. We love it. We want more of it. And it's making me feel icky a little bit. I don't know about you. Let me know. But it kind of felt, watching that episode and many others in the past and shows like this, it's not just about that show. It felt like watching people look for love. It felt less like watching people look for love and more like watching people fight. Just they're there to fight. They're there to roast. They're there to win. But I'm not sure what they're trying to win. Like, what are we trying to win when we conduct ourselves this way? And so here's my thing. And bear with me, because there is a why I'm saying all of this on my channel. I'm young enough to be interested in what's happening in culture and for younger people and for singles and all of that. But I'm also old enough to remember a different time, right? I'm not talking about the 50s. I'm not talking about the 20s. I'm talking about when I was in, I guess, teenage years, young adult years. It was not that long ago. And I do remember a time where in movies, on TV, but also in real life, where men and women liked each other. Like, we actually liked each other. Nothing was perfect, for sure. There was always talk of what's good or not good for both sexes, but we kind of wanted to be with each other. We wanted to build and not destroy each other. And yeah, sure, there was awkward tension every now and then, but it was sweet, right? It was sweet, and that's what made it interesting. The differences were funny, right? It was not fuel for war. I don't know. Does anybody else remember that, right? Or am I just getting old? Am I outside of reality right now? Let me know in the comment section. But I felt like when I was younger, dating did not look like this. And so it's coming to me it's like a rock hit me when I was watching the Montreal edition, because these are folks that live in the area I live in. These are people that, talk like me, look like me. Maybe they do the same jobs at me. They have parents, they have sisters, they have brothers, they have dreams, they have goals. They're charming in their own way, yet it's fighting everywhere. And so, of course, it got me thinking to how we got here. How did we get here? How did we get from romance to roasting for free? It's not even fun roasting. And my take on it, I'm always interested to hear yours. I think we've been sold an illusion, right? I think we've been sold that the idea that true freedom comes from detachment. And I don't need anybody, and I don't need to tell you what to do or how to be. If they can't handle me, then they don't deserve me. You know the drill. I've seen it all. I've heard it all. But I think I have learned, and this is coming from a person who's, yes, in the past been single, but I did marry at a young-ish age, and I'm in a marriage right now that is, thank God, okay, meaning we're not perfect, but we also like each other, which is a weird concept. But it seems like people forgot that freedom without responsibility is not freedom. And freedom without working on yourself is not true freedom. That's like isolation. That's making us miserable. And I've always said that it seems in 2025, like the more we are free, the more we're free to choose what we want, the more we're free to push the boundaries, the more we're free to kind of design whatever types of relationships we're interested in. It also comes with people being more miserable. Please let me know I'm not crazy for noticing this. It's like the more freedom we have, the more bondage we're in. And I can't shake that feeling. And I couldn't shake that feeling watching that edition of the reunion. And so we have, I would say, glorified power in relationships, but we forgot all about peace. I could see those exchanges. It was like a power struggle between men and women. It was who can yell more, but it was also who can hurt more. It was who can assess their independence better. It was who can show the other person that they don't need them. But we're on a dating show. Is that weird? We're on a dating show. We're participating in a dating show, but we are showing every bit of behavior that is contrary to dating. And so it also felt, and this is another piece that was very much apparent to me, we're allergic to sacrifice. We hate sacrifice. We're allergic to submission. We are allergic to patience and all the things that actually make love work. But also we are on a love show. It gave me a headache, like what's happening? And I could really feel the hate in there. And of course, I've been seeing more and more videos talking about how Gen Z is letting dating go. Everybody is now kind of okay being single. Everybody hates each other at this point. And I'm not naive. I will take a moment to say that I know shows like these, right? Any show like this, we're aware, okay? I'm aware that it is produced to go viral, right? They cast people who are, dare I say it, naturally dramatic and confrontational. Most times, that's what I have noticed. And I also know, and this is what people tend to forget, especially the younger generation who is growing up on the internet, we tend to forget that the happiest couples and the happiest individuals and the real deal relationships, they're not out here performing for the internet, right? Happy people are busy being happy, and happy couples are busy loving each other and raising kids and going into their communities and playing outside and paying bills and going to church and laughing in the kitchen and all of that. So I'm not naive enough to panic and think that this represents all of men and women, but I guess I'll say that there's this saying in French, and I hope it translates well in English, but it says, one tree that falls down makes more noise than 1,000 standing trees. So I always keep that in mind when I'm ranting and yapping about whatever is wrong with the internet. I also remember that I'm on the internet, and happy people are not on the internet, and we don't get to see the happy stuff. So I am aware of that, but still, right? Because whatever goes viral reflects something in our culture. And that's what I care about. I use this channel to contrast the culture's way and our way with God's way, right? And what a contrast. So I yapped about what's wrong. You can go and watch all of these shows on your own time. You can draw your own comments. I'm always interested to know what you think. I'm not the expert on life. I'm not the expert on everything, but I do have opinions, and I am always interested in yours. But here's my, what shall I call it? Remedy. Okay. I always say you can't come on the internet, rant, and leave without offering an alternative, without offering a solution, because then you're just adding to the noise. You have to leave something for people to try and look forward to. And it would be bad of me to just rant and leave. So here's my proposed remedy. And you see me coming if you have ever listened to an episode on this channel. The remedy, I believe that we just need to do something very simple, which is bring God back, people. Let's bring God back into our hearts, into our homes, into our relationships. Let's stop trying to do it our own way, because I'm not sure if you need more proof, but I've gotten enough proof to see that when we try to do it our own way, yeah, we fail, and it's not men's fault. It's not women's fault. We're humans. We have feelings. We have traumas. We have things that happen to us. Life has been unfair for some of us. I get all of it. But at the end of the day, there's a way. There's a way to be strengthened. There's a way to be healed. There's a way to be renewed. And there's a way to actually recognize what men and women are worth, because we're all made in the image of God. And so you might be listening to this and rolling your eyes like, oh, okay, here goes another Christian rant. Yes, that's exactly it. That you pulled the words out of my mouth. Men are valuable. Men are valuable. They inherently have traits that we all need in the world. They have courage. They have imagination. They have they're hardworking. They're wired to produce things. They bring vision, pardon me, and ideas and clarity and direction. And women are beautiful and resilient and intelligent and intuitive, and they utilize resources in ways that men don't necessarily do. And this is a good thing, guys. This is not war. It's good. We're complementary. It's actually really good news. And so sometimes you have to remember, we all have to remember, like, that's not my enemy. And so I think real love, when we're on a dating show looking for love, we first need to see people the way God sees them. Because when we look at them the way we as humans look at them, we're just looking for, what can this person do for me? And we are setting up ourselves to be disappointed, right? Who are they and whose are they? That should be the question. And number two, I think we've got to unlearn some behaviors. It's just really, we really have to make smaller goals. We have to unlearn some really clear behaviors that's not helping anybody. And it comes from men, it comes from women. And I know somebody in the comments will say, no, it's mostly women yelling and interrupt. No, I've seen it all. And I've seen bad communication from all sides. And bad communication, it's not the end of things. It typically shows the feeling of, I feel unheard. I feel misunderstood. Therefore, I'm interrupting, I'm yelling, and I'm triggered. And so the yelling and the snapping and the sarcasm and the comparing and the roasting, it's actual poison, ladies and gentlemen. It's poison. And so whether you're looking for love or you're married or you're dating or even single, and if you are in relationship with other human beings, let's just eliminate whatever is blocking love, like romantic love, but also just regular love, and plant what grows it. I'm going to pause because it's very simple, but it's effective. We can eliminate what's blocking the love, and we can plant what is growing the love. And so I'm going to plug what I always plug, because why not? The Bible teaches, pardon me, let me say again, if you have never opened a Bible in your life, if you have never even considering opening a Bible in your life, and you're like, I came here for a show review, I'm not sure why we're talking about this religion, I get it. Go watch my previous episodes. I talked about this in a long format, so I won't go about it again here. But I do believe that God is real, that Christianity is true, and that we've been lied to by culture, and that God's way is the best way. So the Bible says something very easy to remember. In Ephesians 4:2, we're taught to be completely humble and gentle and patient, bearing with one another in love. Bearing with one another. The word bearing kind of indicates here, it won't necessarily be easy. If you're waiting for somebody to be perfect, to be in relationship with them, you might as well tap out, because it will not happen. I know no perfect person. You know no perfect person. We are no perfect people. And so that's like a failed mission for sure. And we can't build anything lasting on bitterness and I would even say there was suspicion. There was like this suspicion going around in the comment section and on with the people that were on the show. And so we need to kind of relearn communication, relearn forgiveness, relearn humility. And like I mentioned, it's hard when we're trying to do it by ourselves. Yes, we've had movements like Boss Babe, I can do all things by myself, and bro code, whatever that is. But at the end of the day, we're failing. This is just what I want to say. We're failing at this. And so we would need to bring back godly standards, because godly standards teach us that yes, we're failing, but there is a way to be strengthened. And there is a way to look at other people, our brothers and sisters, as God sees them. And that's really, really what people are really looking for, in my humble opinion. Let me know if you agree. But behind all of this screaming and yelling and roasting and snapping and destroying each other and separating to go be independent and isolated, and then go into whatever else comes after that, the pride, the addiction, the hiding behind accounts and all of that to attack each other. Behind all of that, I see clearly, and I bet you do as well, that we're in hunger. There's hunger to be really heard and really seen and really loved and really held. That's my analysis of all of it. I see the hunger for it, and I know some food, but it's not food you put in the fridge. It's spiritual food. I don't know, just proposing, hear me out. It's just a thought. Anyway, so let me know what you guys thought. I'm sure you have watched at least some clips or some versions of these types of shows. That's my take. I don't think it's hopeless, though. I'm an optimistic person. I do think we're hurting, and it's showing. But yeah, I want to hear how you feel. So what's your state, generally speaking, on dating between men and women today? Let's talk about it in the comment. Let's be graceful, though. Let's not start new arguments in my comment section. And of course, if you enjoy this type of talk through a lens of faith, through a lens of honesty, go ahead and hit subscribe. We go together at this point. Stop hiding me. Just let's make this official. Subscribe, and I will see you next time.